Hey, yo! Welcome to AJ and Bo Question Everything. It's the podcast where curiosity reigns supreme and no topic is off limits.
Hey there, I'm AJ. I'm here to dig deep, ask the tough questions, and explore the mysteries of our world.
What's up, y'all? This Bo, and I'm ready to challenge the norm, to bring fresh perspectives and have some fun along the way. Together, we're on a mission to uncover the truth and have a blast doing it. Join us each week as we dive into the unknown, tackle life's big questions, and share some thoughts. Got a question? We want to hear from you. Reach out to us and be a part of the conversation.
Don't forget to subscribe, like, and support your favorite podcast platform. Your engagement helps us keep questioning and keeps the conversation going.
Get ready for the adventure of curiosity and discovery as AJ and Bo question everything. Everything. What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for episode number 5 of AJ and Bo Question Everything. And just wanted to thank everyone. Like I said, whether you're watching this right now live with us, whether you watch us back at some point in the future, we definitely appreciate you in helping me and AJ and to make this show a success. So thank y'all very much. AJ, how you doing, my sister?
Doing good, brother, man. Doing good. I totally echo those sentiments. Anybody that is watching the show at any point, we are definitely grateful trying to get this off the ground. And anytime that you are creating content, it can be a little daunting because you're not sure of how it's received. So we're gonna do what we can. You know what I mean? And what we would like to do is hear from you. So if you have anything, any questions, any topics that you would like for Bo and I to discuss, we'd love to hear it. Even during the course of us talking, if you'd like to add to the conversation, feel free to do so. We'll be more than happy to acknowledge you in the chat. All right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. That's what we do. We are here to question everything, but there may be some things that you want to question that we haven't thought to ask. So if y'all have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask them right here on the spot. You will get an answer to the best of our abilities. And I'll tell you what, if I can't answer it right then and there, what we'll do is we'll put, I did it again. We'll put a pin, not this kind of pin. Every week, I mean to go get me a push pin or some sort of not safety pin, but a push pin.
A push pin.
So when it's time to put a pin in something, we can put a real pin in. I mean, instead of this kind of pin, I mean a PIN, not a PEN.
I think people understand, Bo. I promise you.
One of these days, I'm gonna get it right. Anyway, but if we don't have the answer, we'll put a PIN, but this is an imaginary PIN. We'll put a pin in it, and we'll get an answer to whatever the question is. So we're gonna try. Like I said last week, AJ likes to get long-winded, so we're going to try our best to stay on track here. If I can try to rein her in, because Lord knows she likes to ramble. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and dig right in as she sips her tea. Yo, I'm digging the hair, by the way. I got to say, it's looking extra fro-y today. I like it.
I appreciate it, man. You know how long it took me to get this damn fro?
Hey.
Do you know how long it took me to pick and pull and pick, pull, and pat? It's a pick, pull, pat.
I don't know how long it takes to get that. It probably takes longer than I'm willing to put.
30 minutes.
Oh.
30 minutes. No. That's after you've taken the braids out. That's after you've done your original combing. In order for you to shape it.
Okay.
It's 30 minutes just to shape.
Okay, so you have extra stuff. Like that's like the post work. Okay.
Yes.
I got you. Okay, I'm like, 30 minutes, that ain't bad, but no, that's just the that's just the finishing touches for the for the
that's That's
I
that
got you.
Soul Glow oil sheen and all of that picking that. And, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I
Eh,
appreciate the compliment, man. I'm trying to,
Yeah.
let what I have naturally prevail, and this is what happens with it. That's what happens.
It looks good. I like it. It definitely was worth the effort. I put it like that.
Appreciate you,
So
man.
without any further ado,
That brings me to my first question, actually.
it does. I did.
Yes, it did. That
It
one.
did. It did. Okay.
So, is changing your appearance um necessary to attract the opposite sex or the sex of your choice? So a lot of times we go through this whole thing where, at least as women, you're putting these eyelashes, your super glowing eyelashes on that's about as big as fans, and when you blink, you're cooling off the whole neighborhood, or you're putting all this other stuff in your hair to make it, do whatever kind of crazy stuff. And you're thinking, or you putting on the fake nails and all this kind of stuff. But my question is it really that necessary for a guy to like you? Do y'all like
Well,
that stuff?
all right. So that is a very good question, and it's a very detailed answer. And it's difficult because the answer actually differs for different brothers, different men. And not only does it differ for different men, it differs for different men in different age brackets, right?
Hmm.
Because what is important to me when I was 20, I could really care less now that I'm my age that I am now about the majority of those things. What is just like what is important to me now, I could care less back when I was 20 because I had a certain type of thing on my mind when I was 20, right?
Hmm.
So, I mean, when it, things change, things change. When I was 20, I was thinking about, you
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
you know. So it didn't what you what you wear does make a difference. What you For me, and I'll be specific for me, how you take care of yourself is the most important thing. And you don't have to have this, the eyelashes that look like
Bat wings. Yeah.
yeah. You don't that does not to me that does not say that you take care of yourself. To me, that says that you're extra. See, when you do things that no man ever asked you to do, listen, you find me a man that wants somebody to have fake lashes, and I'm gonna find you a man that wants them fake lashes for himself. Okay? So, I mean, listen, I'm not, I'm, and listen.
Why are you gay?
Who says
I,
I'm gay?
You are gay.
I'm not gonna say it, but whatever the case may be,
Ugh.
you will never find a man who says, you know what you need, AJ? You need to, if you could, baby, if you could get some eyelashes, that would just, ooh, you would be so cute to me with some eye. See, I can't even say it without rolling my S a little bit. I got all of a sudden when I tell you you need some eyelashes, all of a sudden my tongue come out a little bit and it starts doing like that for some reason. And I don't even just the thought of eyelashes makes my voice go up a few octaves, and I don't even know why. Um, no man ever asked for that. Okay,
I was
just like
wondering.
just like
Oh,
no man. Listen, no man ever asked you to do like all the extra makeup, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I've got no problem with like a good foundation. Some women like to even out their skin tone. Some women like it. And all, you know what? It goes back to what I said a moment ago. All that stuff tells me is that you care about your appearance. But you see, when you do those other things, when you go above and beyond with the fingernails that are out to here, did nobody ask you to do that? And then no man is gonna look at your fingernails that are this long and curving like a doggone eagle claw. No man is gonna look at those and be like, God, dog, that's sexy as ever right there. I can't wait for her to dig them things in my back.
Well, that was my thing. I was wondering if that was the case.
No man is going to say that. No man is going to say that. Because when they this long and they curving like a doggone pterodactyl claw, okay? I'm not trying to have to go to the ER. I'm not trying to go to the ER because somebody done got a freaking eagle talon wedged in my doggone back.
Hey, but on the other side of that, what about the brothers that's going around here spray painting they can't grow their beards and they can't grow their sideburns, they can't grow their hairline, so they spray paint all that bad boy.
So that's an entirely different discussion, and I'll tell you why. Okay. I'll tell you why. First of all, it took me over a year to get my beard like this, and it's still growing. But for the first few months, it was kind of scary because I didn't attempt to grow a beard till I was mid-40s, so I never knew what it would look like. But for the first couple of months, it was Patches McGee. Okay. Now, that leads us into a different question. I mean, I don't know if that's part 2 of your question, but that leads me into adding things that you are not necessarily blessed with.
Well, that's the same thing, though.
Okay. No, it's not the same thing, because just because you wasn't blessed with rosy colored doggone cheeks don't mean you got to add them. Just because
that's the reason why the reason why females add the hair extensions, because they're trying to
completely different.
Again, no, it's not different. Because if a guy is if he can't grow a beard, when I say completely different, no, you're right. When I say completely different, I mean completely different from the pterodactyl claws. I got no problem with the hair. No problem. If you can't grow it, sew it. Okay. If you can conceive it, weave it. Okay, I have no problem with that. If God did not bless you with a full, luscious head of hair, I have no problem with you adding to what you have. Now, what I do have a problem with is the people who want to get 6 feet of hair and have it doggone doing something completely outlandish. Okay, that is I guess natural would probably be the choice of word, because just because you are not blessed with it naturally doesn't mean you have to do something unnatural. I'll give you an example. High heels. Mm-hmm. You weren't blessed with the height, right? So some might say, well, why are you wearing high heels? That's not, but my point is, and this is my point. No man is going to tell you they have a problem with high heels unless it makes him shorter than you, then yeah, he probably might have a problem with that. But as far as wearing heels, men like heels, and we also are not going to judge you and say, oh, you trying to add to what God didn't give you. No, because that's completely different. That's completely different. So, because that's still within the realm of normal, okay? So, high heels, still within the realm of normal. Fingernails, getting your nails done, perfectly fine, still within the realm of normal. Adding weave, if you don't have the hair that you feel that you need, perfectly normal. Putting on foundation, perfectly normal. Putting on, lipstick or foundation or whatever. I don't know what they call the stuff because I can't really. I don't wear that shit.
I can't really say it without all of a sudden my S's becoming longer, so I don't. Anyway, but whatever. But that kind of stuff where you rub it in to even out your skin tone. Again, perfectly fine, right? I would even go as far to say the women who want to not arch, but like pluck their eyebrows because they feel like they're a little bit too hairy or whatever. I don't really know why they do it, but they feel like they're a little too hairy, so they want to pluck some out. Whatever. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Okay. The women who maybe are a little bit hair gifted, who have hair growing right here, right? They got a beard coming in like me. If they want to pluck it, I'm perfectly fine with that. But where we draw the line is things that are abnormal. You have normal and things that are abnormal. I'll give you normal, getting your nails done. Abnormal, having the doggone eagle talon. Okay? That's abnormal. Normal, adding a little bit of weave if you need some to complete your hair. Abnormal, adding 3 feet, 4 feet of doggone weave, and then having a nerve to tie it up, so or either put it on and just boom, boom, boom. In fact, I know some women that wear wigs because their hair does not grow properly. Guess what I'm gonna say? You know what I think about that? Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But what I don't want you to do is to go nuts and get some outlandish, crazy looking wig that, first of all, is obviously a wig because, again, it looks abnormal. Okay? And not only is it obviously a wig, it's outlandish. So I think the key word is normal. And just because it's not yours, such as the hair or the nails, just because it's not yours doesn't mean it can't be normal. Okay? Just because you don't have the best skin complexion doesn't mean you adding the makeup can't make it normal. So that part I'm okay with. All that extra stuff, nah, bruh. That's and no man ever asked you for that. Think about, I want women, if you're listening, think about how many men asked you to add them long nails. And before you listen, and before you say, well, it's not about what the men ask me to do, it's what makes me feel good about myself. Okay, so first of all, I scared myself because that was a little bit too easy to do. So
That was a little bit too good.
let me put a little bass back in my voice. All right, yeah.
One day you're gonna come to grips.
Sidebar. Everybody tells me that I have somebody tell me that I have an evil villain laugh. That's my natural laugh. I can't control it. But whenever I go out to restaurants and stuff, people tell me I have an evil villain. Like, people will turn around in their chairs. They be looking at me all funny. My wife, that got used to it now. It don't bother anymore. But for a while, she'd be like, could you just stop laughing so loud? And I'd be like, no. And you telling me that I'm laughing is only making it worse, because then I'm going to start laughing about laughing.
Sound like you one step away from Pinky and the Brain type shit.
Anyway, I completely forgot what we was talking about.
The fact is,
long story long, makeup. Yeah. It
was just altering your appearance, and it's
altering
not
your appearance.
altering the need. Is there a need to really alter your appearance? Because you say, hey, if it makes you feel good,
Right.
do it. But on the other side of that,
So
I hear that the brothers, when they come back from the clubs, and we're gonna move on to the next topic, but
yeah.
when they go to the club and then they say, oh well, and the sisters too, from the brother side. Yeah, man, I took her home. We was in there doing our thing. Next thing I know, she stayed the night, woke up, and she was somebody else. Didn't have no eyebrows and had no, hair.
I think that Fresh Prince episode when he was dating Nia Long and they ended up trapped in the basement. and she was like, "Whoa, it's hot in here." And she just ripped her wig off like, "Whoa, it's hot."
Or from the lady's perspective, you go through rubbing the guy's hair, you rubbing your fingers through it, and all of a sudden this shit is black. Wait a minute, bro. Like, what is that? Or, because I've seen, how women got the lace front wigs.
Oh, God.
Apparently, brothers have the lace front linings, so you can pull your Caesar up and to get them perfect waves that you want it, and they glue that bad boy down, make sure your edges, and then they spray paint that shit and make it.
Listen.
Is it necessary though? Like,
full transparency here, and I'm gonna be really short because I know we got to wrap this topic up. When my beard was first coming in, I used the they call it fibers. I didn't use the paint like I've seen some of these fools do, which looks freaking ludicrous. But if you have some hair, you can get what are called fibers, and they're actually like hair follicle fibers, and you spray them. So, like, let's say, for example, I don't know if you can see, but like, see this light spot right here. Let's say I wanted to thicken that up some. You can spray fibers into that, and it will blend in with your hair. Okay. That's perfectly fine by me. I've got no problem. In fact, depending on the occasion, I might still do it. If I want to do Rick Ross, if I want to go somewhere and I want to get out, maybe I want to talk about going to the port of Miami to pick me up some bloke. I might have to get my Rick Ross on. So, I'm perfect, but otherwise, I don't really need that anymore. But it's acceptable. So I say all that to say this. Everything within reason. I guess I could have answered that question really quickly by just saying everything in reason. Because don't go nuts. Because if you gotta do all that, then it's not worth it. And just be yourself.
Well, I think if a lot more people were accepting and were more vocal about things, then maybe you wouldn't spend so much time getting ready. Like if let's say if my man knows like, hey, we're getting ready to go out here and we're getting ready to do this, but hey, you don't have to spend as much time getting ready because all that stuff that you normally would do is not necessary. Like, oh shit, yes, good. So we can go ahead and leave now because in my mind, I'm thinking I gotta look like an A1 star everywhere I go. But when we go into the baseball game, all I gotta do is
No man ever told you. You doing this on your
but
own.
maybe y'all scared. Maybe it's a situation to where you're scared to say something because it's gonna be misinterpreted, and then you're gonna be sleeping on the couch. Because oh no, you can't tell me what.
We
to
never
do.
told you needed them in the first place.
Well,
so what
that's
made you
I'm
put them
saying.
on?
The
What made you put them
communication,
on?
bro. Because we thought that's what you needed.
No,
Just
you
like
didn't.
you thought. Okay.
Okay.
That's why you shouldn't be afraid to say something like, "Hey, you know what? I really think that you don't need all that stuff. Like I think you look good without it." And maybe they just thinking in their minds like, "I do need it." That was the purpose of me even bringing it up because maybe it's people out here that really think that they need to go and spend an extra hour putting on all this war paint and
Well,
putting
those
on
people
damn.
should talk. Those people. Why not ask? Why not ask your man? Be like, hey, what do you think about my nails? Because I guarantee you, he gonna be like, them junks hurt when you be digging them in my back. I wish they wasn't so long. I guarantee that's what he's gonna say. I don't know how you type with that mess anyways. You got them long nails. I don't even know how you get I don't know how you get no work done, but you seem to like them, so I don't even say nothing. That's what he's gonna say. You want to know what he's gonna say? That's what he's gonna say. You like it? I love
it. Safer that way. All right, next question. Is being superstitious still a thing?
Well, as someone who was never superstitious,
okay,
I can honestly say that for a lot of people, it is still a thing. Depending on the topic. Now, it's not as prevalent as it used to be.
Okay.
But I'll give you an example. Back when I was playing baseball and softball, up until the last couple of years when I injured my shoulder and elbows, I used to play softball or baseball, and there were guys who would wear dirty jerseys or dirty uniforms. And if they won a game, they'd wear that same dirty uniform next week. Because they're not, or if it were socks, like let's say they had on some socks, they wouldn't wash the socks as long as they kept winning.
Right.
So maybe it's not so overt as it used to be, but I guarantee you if the step on a crack, break your mama back, I think that's one that was too easy to prove that it wasn't true.
Yeah.
So that one has kind of gone by the wayside. I wish you could see my dog trying to get under my leg to try to get in the studio with me, but she's like 75 pounds and she thinks she's still a puppy, and so like my studio is not big enough for the both of us. Anyway,
she want that love, man. I get it.
She's a spoiled brat. That's what it is. But like, okay, ladders and walking under ladders. I guarantee you there are people who will still not walk under a ladder to this day. Okay. That one is still very, very, oh my God. And you want to talk about among the black culture? Sit a black woman's purse on the floor. I dare you. I dare you to sit a black woman's purse on the floor. So, and I know a lot of people are probably thinking right now, like, I don't even know what that is. What's up? What's up, Diggs? My bad, man. Real quick. Uh,
Hey,
A-
Diggy.
Ashley, real quick. Dig said not most real men like the natural look. No need for all that extra stuff, and I 100% agree. And I
Appreciate
think
it.
just briefly echoing what Dig say, I definitely agree. We don't need all the extra stuff. But anyway, back to the ladders and the purse. You don't sit. For those who don't know, it is bad luck to sit a woman's purse on the floor. And if they do that, I'm trying to remember. If you sit a woman's purse on the floor, they have to. Is this the one where they have to throw the salt over their shoulder? Is that the one?
No. Okay, first off, I have no idea what you're talking. Well, okay, I
What?
don't carry purses. I don't carry purses. I know that's weird. I
Okay.
have I have my wallet that I
Okay.
carry on my person, and my thing is if I can't carry it on me, I don't need it. Now, I'll have like a little bag, like with a bag for the car, so it'll have all of my stuff, like emergencies type situations, lotions, that kind of stuff. But as far as me going around here trying to grab this big suitcase and take it with me everywhere I go, no, I don't want to look like no target.
Hmm.
A and B, like I'm forgetful, so I'll go and I'll sit that damn thing down and then forget I got all my stuff in there. No, we ain't doing that, bro. Um, so
Listen to this. It says a woman should not put her purse on the floor because it is thought to bring bad luck or financial loss. This
oh,
stems from the idea that placing something tied to wealth and prosperity on like a purse on the ground shows disrespect for your money and invites it to leave you.
oof, yeah.
I'm
Well,
surprised you never heard that before.
I mean, I've heard that you're not supposed to put the purse on the ground, but I didn't know why. But then
That
again, I didn't care because I don't carry one.
That's why, because you if you put the purse on the floor, it means the person whose purse you put on the floor is going to lose money.
You probably
So,
gonna get snatched up. That's probably what it is. You put your purse on the floor, somebody gonna go right by and snatch that bad boy up.
well,
But
that's one way to lose money.
demonstrate. But my thing was that sweeping. I clean my house all the time.
Oh,
Sweeping the
sweeping the
feet,
broom, sweep
bro.
somebody's
If
feet.
if the wind of that broom grazed my feet, I'm I ain't taking a chance.
Wait, you gonna do what?
Nah, nah. Even if I don't see even the whole walking under the ladder, the whole sweeping of the feet. I don't want to take no chances. Thus, I'm not saying I believe in it necessarily, but then I don't want to be the unfortunate soul that whatever
Gotta give him
was
that
slated to
pop
happen will get it happen.
spit on that thing. You get me?
I'm serious. No, man. So splitting the pole, what when I welcome my children,
Oh, see, yep, that's another one that's still very popular. Don't.
we all walk. Listen, do I have to hold your hand? Because I
I've
swear we
seen
all
some
gonna
people.
walk.
I've seen some people who will stop when they realize what's happening and go
Yep,
back and be like, you ain't finna
that's what
nope.
they. Yup, that's what they do. And listen, I don't know if I'm wasting my time. I could be wasting my time. I could be.
You're definitely
I,
wasting your time.
okay, well, I'm gonna do that, and I'll
You're
be
like,
safe.
I ain't got nothing better to do at that precise moment. So another one. Okay, so remember I was telling you the salt over the shoulder. So this one has to do. Have you ever heard throwing salt over your shoulder?
Yes, that was with. What was that for? For good luck or something?
Yeah. It says that um some beliefs say that the devil hangs out behind your shoulder, and if you spill salt, the devil sees it as an invitation to step in and do evil. So throwing the salt over your shoulder into his face blinds him and renders him helpless.
Oh, well, shit. Let me get my soda up here. What's that?
That's just tomfoolery, okay? That's tomfoolery.
It's
I'm
wasting
sorry.
salt.
It's a
Hey,
waste of salt. Mama, listen, I don't get. My mama will be like, "Don't you waste it, dog." That doggone salt was $1.49 a box. Do you think that I have money that grows on trees?
Because it's about $12.95 with this inflation right now.
You better, you didn't buy a damn box of salt in my house. Don't you throw that doggone salt on that floor. Now pick it up, put it on your chicken.
Whew, honey.
But yeah, so yeah, no, there's still many superstitions that are still out there. But I don't. But like you said, and the broken glass, that's another big one. Broken mirrors, 7 years bad luck, etc., etc.
Yep.
So there's, believe it or not, a lot of people still believe those. Some are black cats. Ooh, listen, there are some people, if they see a black cat, they will. And the crazy part is, there are people who think they are not superstitious until they see a black cat, and then all of a sudden that superstition grabs a hold of them, and they're like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna go the other way, and you'll ask them, be like, are you superstitious? No, I'm just gonna go that way. So then you're superstitious. Well, I'm not superstitious. I just don't want a black cat to cross my path. So then you're superstitious. Yeah. So
I'll go right up to a black cat and pet it. As a matter of fact, come on in the house.
Listen.
If I get a cat, it's gonna be black.
Listen, me and black cats are awesome. I love the black cat. Okay. I just gotta say, I have absolutely no problem whatsoever. Okay. Now listen. I know that some people have a problem with cats, but me, I don't have a problem with cats at all.
I got a problem when they got an attitude.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
You stupid. Hey, some countries it's a delicacy. I'm just telling you.
I know. I had a friend of mine who told me he ate dog, not on purpose, but he said he was in Korea and he was in Laos, somewhere over there, and I'm sorry, he had a girlfriend who was from there, and her mother was here visiting from there, and she was making dinner, and he was at the house. And he said, "Ooh, that smells good." And the girlfriend was like, "You don't want that." And he was like, "What you talking about? That smells good." And she was like, "I'm telling you, you don't want that." And he said he tried it. He said the mother was like, "Would you like some?" And she made it for him and didn't tell him what it was before she made it for him, and it was dog. It was actual dog. And he he said it wasn't bad. he said it wasn't bad. I mean, I've never tried it, but he was like he
not
said
that you know of.
Well, exactly, but I mean, you're right. You're right. I cannot say for certain. I have been to certain ethnic restaurants, but he said it wasn't bad. I have no interest in ever trying it. But what I will say is, if times get hard enough,
Okay. Peppers and onions. Pedro and onions, bro.
Listen, and this isn't the type, maybe we can put a pin in this one too before we move on. I'm going to survive, okay? My daddy didn't raise me to starve to death. He did not struggle. My mom and daddy did not struggle to have me live to my adult life to die of starvation in America, okay? America. This is America, the land of the free, the home of the brave. Okay, we have all these different things. This is supposed to be the greatest country in the world. And at the end of the day, I I'm not. I cannot. My dad also raised a survivor. Okay, so if times ever get hard enough, why you think I told my wife this? Why you think I keep a dog? I said yes.
Just in case?
I said yeah. I keep a dog for protection. You know, I want her to defend the house. I want her to you know, to take care of us and protect the family. But if times get hard, listen, I'm sorry. A decision has to be made. I had to make a business decision.
Yeah, I
And
guess that sweet baby raise is gonna be on deck. I guess that's
listen,
what's gonna have to
and a
be.
lot of people be like, "Oh, I could never eat my dog. I could never eat." Listen, if you
Okay.
get, that reminds me. Speaking and don't spoil it for what I'm about to say. That reminds me, we need to have a special episode where we talk about movies so that we can talk about our
That
movie.
one.
Yes, that one.
Got
So,
it.
yeah, I know spoilers right now, but we
Mhm.
definitely need to put a pin, not a pin, not a PEN, but a PIN in that.
If I swear if you explain it one more time, explain it one more time, I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna choke you. Explain it again. Explain it again. Explain it again.
All
You
right,
ain't there.
next topic.
Last topic. Is having a name brand really worth the price? Is having that Gucci, that Louis, that Prada, that red bottom shoes, and then whatever you spending all that damn money on that you have, just because it's a certain brand, is it worth it? Personally, I don't
To
think so because you're paying. It depends. If it's quality,
mhm.
then I can see you spending money for it. If it's certain quality, but if all you're doing is taking some Walmart brand T-shirts and you just putting your name on it, and I'm supposed to pay you $100 for this damn T-shirt just because it's your name on it, nah, bro, we're not doing that.
I hear you. I hear you. Listen, I came from very humble beginnings. Um, you know, when I was young, mom was the primary wage earner. Dad worked as well, but mom was the primary wage earner, and we struggled. We had it was just me and my sister. Um, you know, we spent the first early years of my life, you know, on welfare. I'm not ashamed to say it. You know, because dad struggled to find and keep work because of the nature of the job that he did, and so you know times were hard. So we couldn't afford name brand anything, and so I was that kid who used to wear the generic clothes or the Walmart. Back then it was Kmart. I used to
Mm-hmm.
wear the Kmart clothes. I used to wear Payless shoes. The Payless used to sell these shoes, and I'll never forget it. They were called XJ9000.
XJ's, boy.
They were. Do you remember those? I don't know if you remember, but
I've seen them.
they were called
XJ's 9000.
XJ9000. And what I loved about the XJ9000 is they were the Timu of shoes.
Oh shit.
They were the Timu of shoes. They made shoes that looked exactly like Nikes, but they were not. Okay,
Oh.
they were $15 to $20. The Nike Jordan was not going like this. Um, there was some sort of man, and he was like doing a dribble move, but he wasn't dunking. He was doing like a dribble move through the legs or whatever. Or maybe I don't know if he was shooting a jumper or had a cigarette in his mouth. I don't know what it was.
Air Force Nuns.
But yeah, he there was a man on the shoelace or on the shoe, but again, they were cheap. They were like $15-$20 because that's all we could afford. And so I would have some XJs. But here's the thing: instead of the Nike, the bubble on the bottom where when you had the Jordans, they had the little air bubble down there in the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, they had something that looked like a bubble, but it was just a brick of rubber underneath the doggone sole of the shoe. It wasn't an actual air bubble. It was solid rubber. Okay, so there was no air bubble. So,
That's that security for you.
Diggy said, nope, I was raised on secondhand stuff with my whole life. Be grateful for what you got.
Karma and goodwill.
Yep, karma and goodwill are your friend. And you know what? Going back to those XJs, that's what I called them. I called them XJs for short, because that was the closest to J's that I ever got growing up. But I would be okay as far as the XJ 9000s, but kids can be so cruel.
Damn right.
Kids can be so very cruel. I would literally walk around, and the only way they could tell is by looking at the tongue and seeing old boy standing there with a cigarette in his mouth instead of dunking. Or whatever he was doing on the tongue of my shoe. I don't remember. But if a doggone sure wasn't dunking. Okay. Old boy couldn't even reach the rim. I think he was doing a layup or something. I don't remember. But they would literally sneak up behind me or sneak up on my side and pull my pants leg up to see the tongue. And I tried, so I would always have to be on guard because people would think you couldn't really, if they looked that legit until you either got close enough to see the air bubble was just a solid piece of rubber, or until you looked at the tongue and you could see that it wasn't that was not Jordan. That was like Bear Gordon on the doggone tongue. And the kids can be so mean. And so when they found out, and they would make fun of me and they would laugh, and and they didn't care that we were poor. They had no mercy. Yeah. And that's one of the things I love about the acceptance of the kids in 2024, 2025. There's been a shift in the acceptance of children, because now, like, shopping at the Goodwill is cool. And I'm like, really? Because when I was a kid, I used to hate telling them people I shopped at the Goodwill. Now my daughter is like, yeah, I told her I found this at the Goodwill. It's like, y'all can do that? Yeah. But yeah, we couldn't do that back when I was growing up. But now it's cool to find stuff at the Goodwill. So looping back around to wrap it up, name brand stuff is nice. Okay, I would have loved to have had them back then, but I do believe that, going back to what Nathaniel said, it helps you to develop a character. It helps you to be grateful for what you have. So now, as an adult, I do own several pairs of Nikes. I'm not gonna lie. I do own several pair of Nikes, but do I feel like I have to wear Nikes? Do I feel like I have to wear Jordans? I still, to this day, I am in my 40s. Y'all don't need to know my full age, but I'm in my 40s, and I've never owned a pair of Jordans. Never. I like them. I think they're great shoes. I mean, I've seen them before. I don't feel the draw, and I'm glad that society does not have that hold on me to make me feel like I have to have them. Mm-hmm. Not that I can't afford them, because now I'm in a position where I wanted them. If I wanted them, I could have them. I can afford them. I've had Air Max before, and those things like $170 the last time I bought a pair. Mm. I like Air Max because they really help my feet. They make me feel like I'm faster. I'm fastest, boy. I'm fast. But anyway.
Run that 4-4, huh? You run that 4-4, huh?
I'd be like, I get to the end. He'd be like 7.8. I'm like, what? 7.8.
In your mind, you was right at 4. I know.
I'm like, this got to be like at least a 4.6. At the worst, 4.6. I'm thinking 4.4, baby. 4.4. I look up, 8.3. What? Yeah, that's when I knew. It was at this point he knew. Yeah, that's when I knew. It was time. It was time for me to go ahead and lay my running shoes down. So, but anyway, I do like name brand stuff. I don't think it's important. Again, it goes back to what we were saying about the makeup and the hair and everything. As long as you're clean, as long as you take care of yourself, as long as the things that you wear are quality. Okay, quality doesn't necessarily mean expensive. because I done seen some expensive stuff that's cheap, and I done seen some cheap stuff that's high quality. Okay, so it's not necessarily about wearing expensive things. It's just is your stuff quality. And the thing about going back to women, I look at all that stuff. Like, I think my wife knows, like, I look at the way a woman dresses, and the sad part is it might be a little hypocritical because I'm standing here right now in my t-shirt that says, I'm not angry, this is just my face. Okay. And it's a t-shirt and I got on some jogging pants, right? But I'm not going anywhere. But now I clean up nice, boy. When I get ready to go somewhere, I clean up nice. But I'm just, here chilling at the house right now, so I'm not really worried about it. But same thing when I'm looking for a woman, or when I'm out looking at a woman, I look at those things. And it's important that I'm not looking for red bottoms, okay? I'm not looking for Fendi. I'm not looking for Prada. I'm not looking for Burberry. In fact, if I see those things, you know what I'm thinking?
You're going to have to keep up with that. That's going to be maintenance.
Exactly. I'm thinking that's not the woman for me. Because that's not, like, my wife doesn't wear all those things. She has some nice, like, I've bought her, expensive purses, from like Prada, or I've bought her nice purses, so she has nice things, but it's not a focus of her life to feel like she has to have those things. And that's the type of woman that I like, because that type of woman is not controlled by society. That type of woman is an adult and can make up her own mind. So if she wants to buy a pair of Burberry shoes or a Fendi purse or a Prada bag, something like that, she buys it because she wants it, not because society is pressuring her into it. I'm perfectly fine with that, because that's not something that I have to keep up with. You know what I mean? Because that same person understands the value of $1, and she also understands that I'm not always going to be able to buy that Prada purse. I'm not always, not all of my purses are going to be Gucci. So that, yes, is it important? No. Does it make my mind up whether or not I'm going to talk to you? Not in a good way. Because if you full of Prada and Gucci and red bottoms, I'm good. So, yeah, that's all I had to say about that.
No, I mean, and I understand that too. I guess I just couldn't understand why I needed to spend an exorbitant amount of money on something that can easily be torn. Like, okay, for instance, for anybody that's spending $2,000-$3,000 on a purse,
Nah,
you got it clearly. But I'm looking at it.
I'm judging.
If somebody give me $3,000 and they say, "Hey, I'm giving you this $3,000 to go get you a purse," guess what Ashley getting ready to do? Ashley getting ready to pay up her rent for like a few months, or I'm getting ready to put a large chunk on all my utilities, or I'm getting ready to put this bad boy in this. I'm not getting ready to go spend it on one thing that I could easily lose, when I could have used that to even go take it on a vacation. Hey, you know what? Instead of you giving me this $3,000 to go spend it on this purse, how about we do this? How about we go take a cruise somewhere, or we go take a road trip somewhere. We go stay at a nice hotel, and we use it for that, making a memory.
Yep.
Instead of giving me something that I'm probably going to lose.
Yep.
Within, or somebody going to cluck me over the head and take it from me because they realize this is a Prada bag that I ain't got shit in. Hey, I got this bag, but I ain't got shit in it. It ain't nothing but some toilet paper in here, man. You're going to be mad as hell, but I can think about that even when it comes to like food, Is having a name brand, is having that Jiffy peanut butter better than the store brand peanut butter, you know?
Again, it goes back to quality.
Right. So is it because, what was it? I was contemplating, and I was like, this is the exact same thing. Italian dressing.
Mm-hmm.
So am I going to buy this wishbone? Am I buying this wishbone? Or am I buying this, what was it?
Great value or something.
Something like that. It was something like that, but it's signature something, right?
Yeah.
And I took the time out to read both bottles. Bro, it's the exact same shit. The exact same shit. So why am I getting ready to spend an extra $2 on Wishbone just because it's a brand when I got this right here that has the exact same ingredients and I could spend
Listen,
$2 less.
listen, and there are those who will judge you because of that. But for me, as a man, if I cannot count on my woman to be frugal and economical to help to take care of the house, part of and again, this might be controversial of what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it. All right, I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna say it with my chest. Okay, let me
Make
get
sure the door closed.
no, because she would agree with me. I can say this one out loud. Not that I'm scared to say, what's on my mind, anyways, because I'm grown. Anyway, but yeah, I'm grown. Um, Listen, part of the woman's job, and yes, I said it, part of a woman's job in the household is to help manage the goings on of the house. To take care, maybe she doesn't handle the finances altogether. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't. But even if she doesn't manage the finances in the household, part of the job of a woman is to be economical, to be frugal, to make sure that the house runs as smoothly as possible. To be if you can save a penny saved is a penny earned. And that penny is going to benefit your entire household. It's going to benefit your spouse. It's going to benefit your children. It's going to benefit the house. So to me, if a woman is not thinking in that manner, if where you can get the quality, okay, again, like I said, it goes back to the makeup. Everything we pretty much talked about comes full circle. It goes back to the quality. Um, And Diggs said it, as he said, most of that stuff, off-brand grocery stuff, is made by the same companies using the same name brand stuff, using the same stuff. So, and I know that for a fact. My wife used to work at a car battery place where it was the actual manufacturer. And she said they had an assembly line where they would just send batteries and slap Die Hard on one and Walmart on another. She says she saw it with her own eyes. Same exact battery, going down the same assembly line. You just slap Die Hard and the price goes up $100. When you slap Walmart on another one, same battery. Okay? But there are people who will swear up and down that Die Hard is better than Walmart. You see what I'm saying? Why? Marketing and branding. It's an expensive business, and it pays though. It pays. It's worth it. But it's all a lie. So anyway, going
Just like that organic versus regular. I still think that organic.
it's all a lie. So if I need for my woman to be able to do like what you said. Let me take a look at these ingredients because it looked the same. It shaped the bottle. It's about the same thickness, the same color. Let me look at these ingredients. And if the difference is negligible, all right, whatever. Do what you got to do. If it's like you said, if it's $1, $2 difference and it's the same stuff, like why am I going? If I'm getting 500 mg's of acetaminophen, why am I going to pay $8 for the Tylenol when the Walmart Equate brand is $4 or $5? It just doesn't make good sense.
Mm-hmm.
Literally sense, CENTS.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Indeed.
So yeah, but that's very important. So not only do I want her to wear quality things, going back to the question, and then I'll wrap it up. She should definitely take care of herself, definitely wear quality things, but she has to be economical. And if I see you walking around with a Prada purse, a Gucci dress, some red bottoms, and then I see you going out to your car and you getting in your Toyota Tercel. No disrespect to anybody who drives a Toyota Tercel, but if I see you going out and you getting your Toyota Tercel, or I see, I'm judging. I'm that dude. Because where are your priorities? Okay? And you are not a good woman for me, and most likely you're not a good woman for any man because your priorities are not in order. Again, now, this is me in my 40s. Me in my 20s might have said something different because I wasn't really thinking about my mind was somewhere else. But I think that when I met my wife when I was 25, what mattered to me then was different from when I was 20. When I was 20, I could care less if a woman could cook. I was like, I can eat. I can cook for myself. I don't need a woman to cook for me. I don't, I want her to be this, and this, and she got to have this, and this. That's what I wanted. By the time I got married when I was 25, the first thing my wife did for me was she was my girlfriend then. She cooked for me. I was like, this what grown women is like? I was like, your boy could kind of get used to this. Like, man, I've been all these doggone chicken heads, out here they want to spend money and go out places and go out to eat. And, all of a sudden, here's a real woman. She knows how to decorate her house. She knows how to all those type of things became important. And then you realize the red bottoms and all the other stuff really isn't that important. And so it depends on what stage you are in life. Those who are really, really young, they might care about that stuff. But once you get grown and once you settle into life and realize that me and you are in this together and we both got to thrive in this thing, that stuff takes a back seat. And like you just said, it becomes about vacations and memories and fun and us looking back after 25 years at the things that we've done and the places we've been, not the things that we own. Mm-hmm. You tell me one thing you own now from 20 years ago. You might be able to name one thing. What'd you say?
No, actually, that wouldn't be a fair question to me because I lost everything when I came over here.
Okay, well, okay, so but for most people, they couldn't do it. They might be able to name one or two things. But in that same token, if I asked you to name me your top 5 vacation spots, you can probably go back 30 years if you needed to. You see what I'm saying? Because you'll remember them. They mean something to you. They were important to you. Or though that's the type memories. And building a life, that's what's important. Things can be replaced, but
Hey, Grant, good to see you, man.
What you make as a person, my dude, what's up, Grant? What you do with your spouse or significant other, those are the things that matter. And most real men aren't gonna choose you or lose you based on a Burberry coat or a Fendi bag.
So what about that on the other aspect? Because you mentioned it from the woman's responsibility and respect, So what about it from the man's side of it? What about a man that feels like he needs to extend his dick size because he went out and bought this, he feels inadequate, so he went out and bought this Ferrari, or he went out and, is spending all this money on his Armani suits and, focused on the suicide doors and, all the lemonade diamonds and stuff like that. So what do you have to say about that?
That's tough because that's an entirely different topic. That goes into the way women view men. Women view men. See, men value, if you notice the things that I said about a woman, I mentioned cooking, I mentioned cleaning, I mentioned taking care of the house, I mentioned being good with money, right? Mm-hmm. Women don't look at men that way. And I'm going to say the majority because I know that some women will come for me and be like, I ain't that. But the majority of women, and this is the problem that men have had for the last, especially the last 10 years, but I would say probably the last 20 years, is that men have become less of what men need to be and more of what women want them to be. And because of that, women has forgot what a man needs to be. And so now they don't really, I
think that you are, maybe I need to ask it differently because what I don't want it to seem is like I don't want it to seem or feel like you're kind of bashing women or like constantly blaming women for that. So I guess because like you mentioned when you said it earlier, how the perspective of brands and having that, you mentioned a woman. And I'm noticing that even when I was kind of specific about hate, guys specifically on the feeling of them needing to have that, you know, and you're still kind of blaming it on the woman. But I don't think that that's necessarily that thing. I don't think that that's necessarily it either. I think it's more of a keeping up with the next brother's doing too. You know what I mean? Like this
So,
brother, it could be a jealousy type deal. Well, this brother is doing this, and I know that more than likely, you know, I'm going to attract the sex of choice if I have this or if I wear this Armani suit, you know. So that's I guess that's kind of why I was hoping to kind of maybe get you to.
so okay. So first off, I don't know where I bashed a woman, and if I did, tell me, because I'd like a chance to either apologize, clarify, or explain. But as far as what I meant by what I said was, there is a different standard. The standard is, and like it or not, there is a different standard. Women want a specific thing from a man. Men want a specific thing from a woman. What I said was, or at least what I meant was, women have a much higher standard expectation of a man than what a man has of a woman. Because of that, that means that a man is expected to do much more to win over or achieve or or be given a woman. Okay? Whereas a man, the only thing we want our woman to do, like I said, be frugal, keep yourself clean. I didn't mention anything about designer this, designer that, none of that. But the expectation is much higher for what a man is expected to do. A man is expected to be all those things. In addition to, he's expected to have that gift downstairs that keeps on giving. Okay, he's expected to have that six-figure income and be willing to share every bit of it. He's expected to be able to take care of you so that so that you can do whatever you need to do, but yet not necessarily have the parameters of being restricted by what he wants you to do, because you're still an independent woman. Whereas the expectation of a man is that he doesn't yell at you, he doesn't disrespect you, he doesn't curse at you, and all those things are fine. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying he doesn't curse at you, he takes care of you, he rubs your feet, he takes consideration when you're at your sensitive time of the month. He understands you. He learns your emotional sways. He learns the ebb and flow of who you are as a person. He has to be your confidant. He has to lift you up when you feel down. He has to support you when you feel weak. He has to fill in the gaps for you as a woman where you miss. That's the key. That's huge, because if I can't fix my car, she ain't gonna do it. But if the dishes don't get done, do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
I'm expected to fill in the gaps. But that's what a man is. A man is expected to do all that he is supposed to, and then extra. All a woman has to do is all that she can. And she can throw her hands up. Now, I'm not saying, to be honest, let's be clear, I'm not saying that's not a lot. So I see you sipping your doggone tea like you about to turn up. I'm not saying that's not a lot, because my wife does far more in the house than I do. I have no problem acknowledging that. but our roles are different.
Mm-hmm.
We do different things. What I do weighs more. And I mean that literally. If I spend 4 hours underneath a car trying to change a starter out, I think that adds up probably to what's worth a little bit more than even cleaning the kitchen for a week. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. Okay? So if you have to weigh things appropriately, and I know we kind of went off on a tangent, but there has to be a balance too. Because you have to appreciate the things that I do, and I have to appreciate the things that you do. But a fair exchange has never been a robbery. Okay? And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, is women learn to expect a lot more from their partner without thinking they have to give more. Because a woman is allowed to do all that she can, and that's it. She can take a break.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with every single
She can have a
aspect of-
breakdown. She can shut down. She can close up shop. She can shut down the studio. She can turn off the lights in the kitchen, and she can go.
I would say that's true in most situations, but it would be remiss of me to say that that's every situation.
Agreed.
Especially for a woman or for a person. And I don't even want to, and I guess that's what I want to kind of get away from, because it happens with both sides. The expectation from what a woman wants from a man is from your perspective, and it's not too far off. I think what a man wants from a woman is more than what you're saying. But whether you're going to get that or not, that remains to be seen. Because I talk to a lot of guys all the time, say that they married who they thought that they wanted to be with, but they don't do everything that they want them to do, that they feel that they should do. Just like I know women that say, hey, I got this man here, we've been married for umpteen years, he's not providing, which is what a man is supposed to do. He's not making me feel secure. I feel like somebody run up in here right now, he gonna run behind me. You know what I'm saying?
That's the new school man right there.
That's what I'm saying. But it's something to be said nevertheless. And I think if you're talking about roles and what people are supposed to be doing, that's not taught. Either the parents are not in the household to teach it. You used to learn it in school, but now that's not. It's purposely misleading, and the roles are purposely switching to make things a lot harder than what they should be.
I miss shop class. I miss home ec.
Because it taught you, and those responsibilities of even caring for a home. Typically, yes, you could say the man was supposed to be going out here working, bringing home the bacon, and the woman was supposed to cook it and make sure that the house was cleaned up and make sure that everything else.
And those roles have definitely changed. I'm not naive enough to think that they haven't.
Now, was everything easier back then because of things, did things flow smoother? Was the world seemingly better back then when things were done like that? In my opinion, yeah. But if each role, if each sex is responsible now for the other person's role, no wonder everything's so fucked up. No wonder you're not getting what you feel that you're supposed to be getting, because you're too stuck on doing the other shit you're not supposed to be doing. So it's everything that we're learning, everything. The reason why we feel the way we feel right now is because it's all taught. Because it's what society has now become. A friend of mine and I was talking about the fact that back in the 80s and the 90s, you had a lot of cartoons, you had a lot of stuff that was geared towards family, geared towards having education, geared towards you learning how to write a freaking check, how to freaking sign shit, how to freaking understand a contract.
Yep.
Now you don't know how to do none of that stuff, and it's all on purpose. It's all taught. Just like the fact that women feel like they have to have a certain caliber of man to have that security that they need in order to be like, okay, well, we're not going to be out on the street.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be raising my children out in the woods somewhere.
There's
A
a movie
man
called
is
there's a
not going to
movie
be.
called Idiocracy. If you haven't seen it, it's a really funny movie. But essentially, the premise is a man wakes up in the year 2500 or something like that, and America or the world has gotten progressively dumber because of technology.
Yeah, that girl.
That's what was so weird. That's what was so unique about the movie is it came out years ago, but it's literally happening. Like you can see it
Foreshadowing.
happening. What'd you say? Yeah,
Foreshadowing.
it is. And so it's called Idiocracy. And so he gets cryogenically frozen in like 2000 or whatever the year was, and then he wakes up in 2500 and he's literally the smartest man in the world because everybody is now so stupid because they're so dependent on technology, they literally don't even know how to tie their shoes because they have a machine to do it, And so he instantly becomes like everybody's hero, and they're trying to make him fix all their problems because they're so dumb. They don't know how to drive. They don't know how to tie their shoes. They don't know how to turn on. They don't know how to turn things on. They don't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
So it's kind of where we are now. Like you said, it's a foreshadow. Like we're heading in that direction because society has taken away so much of what we used to do for ourselves, and it's taken it out of the hands of the husbands and the wives, for that matter. I don't understand why it was such a bad thing to have shop. Why it was such a bad thing to have home ec. I don't understand why it was such a bad thing to have mechanics. Why was that so bad? But now it's gone. But now it's gone, and you've got adult males who don't even know how to forget about changing a tire. They don't even know how to use a lug wrench. Okay, you got adult females who forget about making a full course meal. They don't even know how to boil an egg.
They don't know how to grill cheese. I know.
They don't know how to grill cheese. And it's almost like society wanted that to make them more dependent on, on technology or on others. And I don't understand that. But again, that's going off on a whole tangent. And
Pin in it.
yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that.
But yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. You know what I mean? Everybody, I think everything is all topsy turvy right now, and until we get it back together, it's always gonna be that way.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I just don't know if there's a way to get it back together. If there is, it's gonna get worse before it get better because we gotta rock bottom. We gotta hit rock bottom before we can start to come back up. And that's scary because as far down as we are now, we still have a lot further down that we can go. I'm not trying to be a part of it. Like I was telling my wife, like we might want to try to find a country piece of land somewhere off the grid, buy a couple of chickens or whatever, and start to try to figure out how to make ourselves. Because think about it, and this sounds like a conspiracy, but they're controlling our food. There's a YouTube video right out there right now that shows a guy who he's a dual citizen. So he bought some Fruit Loops, something simple like Fruit Loops. He bought some Fruit Loops in Canada, and then he came to the U.S. and he brought the box of Fruit Loops with him. And then he went to the grocery store here in America and he bought a box of Fruit Loops. And he got on YouTube and he read the ingredients side by side. They both said Fruit Loops. But the ingredients in America were so much more damaging to the human body than the ingredients in Canada. And the question is, why would that be? Why would that be unless they want it that way?
Yeah.
Unless they want us in pain, unless they want us to have the inflammation, unless they want us to have the arthritis, unless they want us to have the cancer.
Yes, they do.
And so, but again, that goes into this whole conspiracy theory, and I mean, we can go down that road another time if you want to, but why if Fruit Loops, and another thing is, Fruit Loops is perfectly willing to make these ingredients, to make these Fruit Loops that are healthy for Canada, but I won't say healthy, healthier for Canada, and much less healthy for the United States. So that means that these companies are in the pockets of the governments. So that means the conspiracy is to keep all of us in chains. And so that means that
One way or the other.
that means that that means that the world has a bigger problem that needs to be resolved. And it's bigger than any one person. Because if it's at the point where you're making prices so high that you have to have both people working, right? The economy back 50 years ago, you didn't need two incomes. That's the reason why the wife was able to stay at home and take care of the family and the kids in the house, because the economy allowed her to do so. Okay. Now, I'd say for 99% of America, the man doesn't make enough money to support the husband, the wife, and the kids. It's not that it's not a knock on the man. It's just that the economy dictates that we now need two sources of income. So that goes back to the foundation of America, because our priorities are not in order. And it literally trickles down. Okay. You take the man and the woman out of the household, right? You make the woman go to work. You make the man go to work. Then you jack up the prices of healthcare. You jack up the prices of daycare. So now you're literally making this qualified man and qualified woman tread water just to make it. And then you jack up the prices of food so that now they can only afford to buy the cheap stuff. The stuff that's bad for them, that's going to make them use the insurance that they have to pay all this extra money for. And it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
So, and then to get ahead generationally, they take the home ec out of schools. They take the accounting out of schools. They take the the wood shop. They take the mechanics class out of schools. They take the driver's ed out of schools. Because they're changing the caliber of the people that will be adults. They're taking cursive out of schools. They're breeding idiots. And it has to be on purpose. But people don't seem to either A, they don't see it, or B, they don't care, or C, they just have given up.
Nope. Distracted.
That's a good option too.
Most of it is distraction, because you're focused on work. You're focused on something else. You're always, it doesn't matter what it is, your focus is on something else, so you're not focused on what's important.
Yep. And then they have all kind of stupid laws that they pass, and people are too busy to pay attention to it. And next thing you know, you got Project 2025, and you got, because you too busy working to focus on laws getting passed. So
or
you're not
doing the latest dance on TikTok,
or doing the latest TikTok dance, or not. And next thing, what was the latest thing that came up? Next thing you know, did you hear about FDIC? Somebody's trying to get rid of FDIC.
No.
Oh yeah, look it up. It just happened today. Somebody, I'm not sure of his name, but I'm sure you can look it up. Somebody very well known, who probably will be getting a new job in the next couple of weeks, is attempting to defund FDIC. Federally insured banks will potentially be a thing of the past if he has his way. So, it really, have you ever been in a car accident? And I have, where, and if you haven't, maybe you've seen it on TV, where you hit a patch of ice or you start sliding and you can see that there's a car in front of you 50 feet ahead, but you can't stop sliding, and you can't stop sliding. And you know a good 5 seconds in advance that if you can't change something, you're going to crash. I've had that happen. It was a fire hydrant. It wasn't another car, but it was a fire hydrant. I was skidding in Wisconsin, and I saw the fire hydrant. I'm like, oh crap, I can't stop. I got no brakes. I'm doing this. I'm like, I can't stop. I'm going to hit that fire hydrant. I literally had time to think. I'm like, oh God, what do I do? Boom. That's where we are right now. We are sliding uncontrollably towards a demise. Now, what demise that is, I don't know. I don't know whether it means what is going to die or what the demise is, but we're sliding uncontrollably. And so it's really quite scary, because imagine you going through that slide, and as I'm sliding, all of a sudden my cell phone rings and it's like, ooh, TikTok videos. And now as you're sliding, your phone is like, I'll give you something to do so you don't worry about the slide. You're like, oh, I'll just scroll, 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 and you're just sliding and you forget you're sliding because you're too busy watching TikTok videos.
That's it.
Anyway.
That's it. Not that long.
Yeah, we've been going on for a while, but it's a big problem. So hopefully someday we wake up, because it will take generations to undo the generations of damage that have been done.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like it takes you 9 months to have a child within you, and for the baby to come out, it's going to take you a lot of time to undo the damage that's been done. And it's going to have to be a foundational thing. It can't be a topical thing, because topical, that's almost like when you're treating the symptom instead of the root cause. You'll never get well.
Yeah.
If you're only treating the symptoms.
And that's the idea too. And again, that's another thing to put a pin in, because if there's all these things that they can treat, if you can treat it, you can cure it. But there's no money in curing it. The money's only in treating it, because curing it is a permanent thing. You can't continue to charge somebody when they're cured. But you can make money now and forever as long as they stay sick. Anyway, so before we go, I want to thank everybody for coming on, staying on with us. Again, thanks to Nathaniel Diggs, thanks to Grant Hardaway, and anybody else who joined and watched that maybe didn't comment, or those who haven't watched yet. And if you just, if you plan on watching it later, we thank you as well. It's always a wonderful time. Ashley, I want to ask you a question, but don't answer it. Maybe perhaps we can save this one. If you could have switch roles so that you never have to get pregnant again, and being pregnant now becomes the man's role, and the man has the babies, would you do it? Would you want it that way? If so, why? And if not, why not? All right. So, but we'll answer that. We'll address that next time. That'll be one of the questions that we talk over. So thank you again to everybody for joining us. It truly is always a pleasure. Again, me having a podcast is kind of like a dream come true for me. So I thank y'all for helping me to make this dream come true, and hopefully it continues to grow. And I thank Ashley very much for being a part of that, because there's no way I could do this without her. She is definitely what makes this thing roll. So before we get out of here, Ashley, what would you like to say?
Hey man, do your best to stay happy and healthy, man. Can't be don't wait on anybody to give it to you. Try to go out there and get it for yourself, man. Because if you're waiting on somebody else to give it to you, you may not get it.
Yeah, hey, that is golden advice. So don't wait on nobody else to get it. I mean, don't wait on nobody else. You got to go out there and get it yourself. And remember that. And that's in whatever you're doing in life. Go out there and get it. So thank you to everyone. Like I said, if you're watching it now, if you're watching it back later, we definitely appreciate you all. So I'm trying to find my my music. I don't know what I do with my music. All right.
Thanks, Diggy. Thank you for being here.
Oh yeah. Definitely thank you for to Diggy and everybody else that joined us. So anyway, if maybe I'll find my music, maybe I won't. I guess you'll just have to wait and see. How about that? So I want to thank everybody, and we'll go ahead and get out of here, and we'll see y'all next time as AJ and Bo question everything. Good night, y'all.
Good night.